Hey guys, this is Crafty Tiger 14 with another video. This is a new channel, as you may notice. In this channel I will be teaching you all about boating, and in this 8-part series we will be talking about uh the New York State Boating Guide. So 2017 NYState Boating Guide Part 1, Registration. One second. Interest in recreational boating continues to be an increasing diversion for many New Yorkers. With the large number of registered boats in the state, it's obvious that recreational boating is very popular. Whether it's an extended fishing trip on one of our many beautiful Stillwater lakes or a weekend on the Great South Bay, hundreds of thousands of New Yorkers participate in waterborne recreational activities annually. The Office of Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation is one of the many sources of this type of public recreation, as well as the office administering boating safety programs. New York is particularly well known for its marine coastline, upstate lakes, scenic rivers, and extensive canal system. Because of these many waterborne recreational opportunities, New York State Parks is continually providing boater safety information in the hopes of reducing accidents, injuries, and fatalities upon the waterways. The New York State Boater's Guide is one means of providing such useful safety information. And I'm just saying this right now, just because you're watching this video doesn't mean if you're 13 years old, you can just go out and drive a boat alone. You still have to get a license like me. Now, if you're old enough to drive a boat without a license, I still highly recommend doing so. This guide provides basic boating safety information on such topics as registration, operation, equipment, and rules of the road. However, we strongly encourage every boater to sign up for some formal boating instruction before venturing out on their own. Courses on safe boating are available through New York State Parks, U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary, and the U.S. Power Squadron. I'm saying this right now. You can get your license online, but sometimes it may be good to get boating instruction um from one of these courses in person. Um, I got boating instructions from my grandpa, so um registration requirements. Both federal and state law require that any pleasure vessel, whether propelled wholly or in part by mechanical means, which is operated on the waters of the state of New York, be registered with the New York State Department of Motor Vehicles. Owners of vessels which are documented exclusively for pleasure with the federal government and which operate principally within New York State must also apply to motor vehicles for a registration certificate and are required to display validation stickers. The following vessels are exempt from state registration requirements: vessels operating commercially with either a U.S. or foreign document, vessels legally registered in another state only up to 90 consecutive days maximum, lifeboats, not including tenders and dinghies, competition race boats, and non-mechanically propelled vessels. Um, so yeah, pretty much this. Um, yeah. Certificate of registration. This the registration certificate is your proof of current registration. It may also be your only proof of ownership unless the vessel is titled or documented. Vessel operators must carry the vessel's original certificate of registration on board at all times. Likewise, the documented vessel must also carry its documentation at all times. when the vessel is in use. Certificate of registration continued. As you can see here, that's a certificate of registration. It tells the make, model, name, engine type, hull material, and much more information. By engine type, I mean outboard, inboard, inboard, outboard. Inboard, outboard is IO. It's not outboard, but it's not inboard. So, yeah. Correct display of number. The registration number consists of the letters NY followed by 4 numbers and 2 letters, a space or a hyphen. The width of a letter must separate the first and last 2 letters from the 4 middle numbers, NY1234AB. That's just an example. The numbers must be painted or permanently attached to both sides of the vessel's bow. It should read from left to right, be of block letters, not less than 3 inches in height, and of a color that contrasts with that of the hull. The registration number should be the only number on the forward half of the vessel and should be clearly visible and readable from at least 100 feet during daylight hours. This number may not be transferred to another vessel. This is just a little diagram showing the correct display of the numbers. Port side, starboard side. And the numbers should be relatively equally spaced, like the validation sticker should be in the same spot on each one. Validation stickers. Two validation stickers will be issued at time of registration. These stickers will display the month and year of registration expiration. Validation stickers are to be affixed to the hull in line with and no further than 3 inches aft of the registration number. On vessels documented for pleasure with the U.S. Coast Guard, the validation stickers should be placed approximately in the same location. This is the 2017 validation sticker. The numbers in the white box most likely will not be the same. Let's see here. Hull identification number, or HIN. Federal regulations require all vessel manufacturers to permanently affix a HIN to every vessel produced. This 12-character identification, not to be confused with the vessel's registration number, is not only required in order for you to have your vessel registered, it also assists in product safety notifications as well as lost or stolen vessel recovery. Much the same as the VIN on your car, make sure that the HIN found on the transom of your vessel matches the number printed on your registration certificate. If there is a discrepancy, notify the DMV. Documented vessels. Some larger vessels owned by U.S. citizens may be documented with the U.S. Coast Guard in New York. All documented pleasure vessels must apply for registration and display the appropriate validation stickers. We already talked about validation stickers. The Department of Motor Vehicles will not issue a title or a number to a documented vessel. However, you will receive a registration certificate and a set of validation stickers. Registration fees and taxes are paid at time of registration. Titles. The Department of Motor Vehicles issues titles to all 1987 model year and newer vessels, which are at least 14 feet in length. The title is your clear proof of ownership, which must be surrendered to a new owner at time of transfer. If your vessel is less than 14 feet, then the registration certificate serves as your proof of ownership. and must be signed over to a new owner. How do I register my boat? Simply complete Motor Vehicles Form MV82B application for registration, have the appropriate registration fee, provide proof of ownership, proof of payment of sales tax, may be paid to motor vehicles at time of registration, along with the bill of sale, and you're all set. If this is a new boat or a vessel being registered for the first time, you will also need to bring the original certificate or statement of origin from the manufacturer with you to the DMV. This is pretty much what the MV82B looks like. I'll blow it up a little. Sorry, I kind of made the form cuckoo. Trying to get it back into resolution there. That's pretty good. I'll just leave that like that because I can. Or, never mind, I'll put it back how it was. Acceptable proofs of ownership area as follows. A manufacturer's statement or certificate of origin, MSO or MCO, in New York State or out-of-state title, in New York State or out-of-state transferable registration, a marine document, a statement of ownership for non-titled vehicles, MV51B. Any transfer information must be properly completed. Proof of ownership must be accompanied by the bill of sale, which contains both the seller's and purchaser's names and description of the boat, including hull identification number, HIN, year, make, and length, purchase price and registration number if previously registered in New York State. If the boat passed through the hands of more than one purchaser since it was last registered, you must supply valid bills of sale from one purchaser to the next, showing continuity of ownership from the last registrant to yourself. Okay, almost done here. When a vessel is sold, the certificate of registration or title must be signed over to the new owner. At the same time, the original owner should also notify the Department of Motor Vehicles of the name and address of the new owner, as well as the date of transfer. Why did that get messed up? And the registration number of your vessel. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. That's weird. Oh, I see what happened. Let me just get rid of that real quick. Okay. And the registration number of your vessel. To protect yourself when transferring ownership of any vessel, you should remove the validation stickers from the hull prior to turning the boat over to the new owner. This will ensure that the new owner won't use the vessel until it has been properly registered with motor vehicles in his or her name. Change of address. The owner of any registered vessel must notify the Department of Motor Vehicles within 10 days of a change of address. This change should also be noted on the registration certificate. If a boat is stolen, lost, abandoned, or destroyed, the owner must notify the DMV in writing within 15 days. You should notify your local law enforcement agency and the DMV Registration Records Bureau immediately if a lost or stolen boat is recovered. Renewals. The Department of Motor Vehicles will send you a registration renewal at the appropriate time. Check to see that all information on the renewal is correct. and sign and return the renewal notice along with the specified fee. If you don't hear from motor vehicles within a couple of weeks prior to expiration, it is recommended that you go down to a local motor vehicle office with your current registration and renew in person. Registration fees. I'm just saying for the 21-foot boat like my family has, we pay $57.50 per year for the registration fee because it is a 21-foot boat. I'll go over that in just a minute. New York's 3-year registration is amongst the least expensive in the Northeast. Current fees are as follows. Less than 16 feet, $22.50 registration fee, $3.75 surcharge, $26.25 total. 16 feet to less than 26 feet, $45 registration fee and $12.50 surcharge, $57.50 total. And 26 feet or longer, $75 registration fee and $18.75 surcharge, $93.75 total. The surcharge goes to a dedicated fund which supports improvements of vessel access and transient marina facilities. 50% of all registration fees collected from boaters are returned to the counties to support local marine law enforcement efforts. For additional information, please visit the Department of Motor Vehicles website at dmv.ny.gov. For additional information, please visit the Motor Vehicles website at www.dmv.ny.gov.